Yo, it's your boy Hunty. Just want to apologise for the gaps in the recording. PS4 notifications ruins the recording. Yo, Necromancer. Okay, we have not covered the Stamina Necromancer before, as I have currently race changed my mag to Stam because I wanted to try it. And I've been really enjoying it. This is my first build video. Okay, this is going to work better next patch, even better next patch than it is this patch, but you can use both on both patches. Okay, so the build, I got a lot of requests. I was streaming, it was doing really well. It is medium armor. It is quite tanky for medium armor because of the natural built-in damage mitigation that Warden has and some of the real good healing. And it has mobility, and it has really good damage. Now this is an open world build, okay? So if you are 1v1ing, this isn't going to be min-max for damage and all that sort of good stuff. This is for open worlds, so it has sustained tankiness and damage, okay? Because there's always someone saying to me, you know, you need to do this to get more damage, and they don't understand the scenarios I'm in. The scenarios are, I'm always outnumbered. I need the sustain and tankiness at the same time as being able to burst people, okay? So, let's go straight into it then. We are running very basic setup. We are running the Maelstrom Maul. Dragonhold. Okay, you want to run a poison on here? I've just ran out of poisons. Okay, we're using the Maelstrom Maul because we are using a gap closer. In a long time, we haven't used a gap closer, but I fancied a change, and I really like the way it works with the Stamina Necromancer. Okay, the reason we're using the Maelstrom weapon is crit charge deals an additional 9,500 physical damage over 5 seconds. So it adds a little bit of a dot pressure. Okay, it's nothing major, but it's that extra little bit of pressure just for gap closing. Master's Bow. Okay, this is where you want. The reason we're using Master Bow is it adds a significant amount of damage. So increase your weapon damage by 301 against the target affected by your poison arrow. Okay, this adds a lot of damage. It's very noticeable when you don't use this. Okay, so for me, this is best in slot. Now, for the one hand, for the two-handed on the front bar, now you can use Asylum, you could use Agility, you can use two-piece weapon damage if you don't want to use a gap closer. Okay, you could go anything you want on the two-piece on the front bar. Now for the monster set, we are running Bloodspawn. Everyone knows Bloodspawn is my monster set. I love it. Okay, not a fan of Troll King, but yeah, Bloodspawn is sort of where my sort of go-to with stamina builds. Okay, because it's going to give us that essential stamina recovery. It's going to give us the ulti regen, which is going to allow us to do his burst a hell of a lot more times, and it's also going to give us that resistance proc as well. Okay, which makes us tankier when it procs. So for me, it's just the best in slot ideal monster set. Now on the body, we are running Bone Pirate. Okay, and we're running all impen on the body. Now why are we running Bone Pirate? Because this is going to sort out our max stam and stamina recovery, and it's going to sort out all our resource management in one 5-piece set. Okay, and we're running in all medium on the body. We're running 2-piece heavy on the head and shoulders on the monster set. And we want all impen triglyphs on the chest and the shoulder. Now for the jewelry, we are running Agility. Now a lot of people might have seen the changes to Agility, but Agility is actually getting buff next patch. You will be getting more stamina and more weapon damage. Now it isn't a great deal. It isn't like something that's, you know, insane. But it is getting a buff. Now it is actually a really strong 3-piece as it stands without it being buffed. It's a really good strong 3-piece. So it's giving you the maximum stamina and the weapon damage, which we need on this build, as we're using a full resource management set. So this allows us to bump up the max stamina even more and give us that extra weapon damage. Okay, very basic setup. I literally made this setup with the rest of the gear I had in my bank, and then I got other bits of gear, got my Spriggans out and got other bits out, and none of them worked as well as this build did. Okay, so I did accidentally bump into this build, but this is the best. This is the best build for me personally and the best performing. It gives me the best well-rounded stats and best well-rounded performance overall. We are weapon damage on all the jewelry, as we do not need the resource management, as we have plenty of stam recovery, okay, on this build. So we are just pumping the damage. Let's go into the skills then. So skills, we are using the Summoner's Armor. Okay, this is going to be our, basically this is like our volatile armor that DKs use. Okay, this is going to give us our physical and spell resistance. Okay, it gives us 5,280 for 20 seconds. Okay, this is almost 100% uptime on this ability. Also, while active, reduce the cost of your Blast Bone, Skeleton Mage, and Spirit Mender. We are using both by 15%. Okay, this is really good, really good. So you keep 100% uptime on this ability. Okay, and like we just said there, Spirit Mender. Okay, this is our Spirit Guardian. Okay, this is the ability that we get 15% reduced damage from. Why are we using this ability? Okay, it stays by your side for 16 seconds. The Spirit heals you or the lowest health ally around you for every 2 seconds, restoring 1,681 health. Okay, that's nice. It's a little bit of a heal. Little bit, it's nothing special though. But what we're really using it for is, while active, 10% of the damage you take is transferred to the Spirit instead. Okay, so this is 10% damage mitigation for having this ability up. So for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. I'm outnumbered. 10% of that damage being reduced is a hell of a lot. And it's healing me. So our heal over time, over 4 seconds, is going to be Resolving Vigor. Okay, pretty much every stamina build has to run this because it's the strongest heal we have. Race Against Time. Now this is ability you can swap out, but for me, I've done some testing and this just works. Movement ability. This is going to give us our mobility. This is going to give us our extra damage, and this is also going to give us our snare removal. Now this ability, I love this ability because it gives you so much for so little. So, bend the time and space around you and gain Major Expedition for 4 seconds. There's our mobility. And gain Minor Force for 12 seconds, increasing your movement speed by 30%. Okay, and your critical damage by 10%. So not only is it giving our movement speed, it gives us crit damage. Activating this ability removes all snares and immobilizations from you and grants immunity to them for 2 seconds. Okay, so this is our snare removal, and I just feel like this ability is it's just really good, very good. One of the best snare removals on the game because it just gives you so much. Now you can swap this ability out for Expunge and Modify. Okay, now you can use this. I don't even know if I've just said that right. Probably haven't. And you're probably just laughing at me. I'd laugh at me as well, to be fair. Okay, but this is basically our Necro's built-in cleanse. Okay, remove up to 2 negative effects from yourself, restoring 515 magical and stamina for each negative effect removed. Okay, so it helps with a bit of resource management as well. And you can just spam this. There's no cooldown. Okay, so if you have negative effects on you all the time, what this ability do, it will be highlights of effects on you. So you can't over spam it if you don't have an effect on you. So if you have an effect on you, this ability will light up and you'll be able to use it. As a well slotted, the cost of your abilities is reduced by 3%. Okay, and another nice little bit of a cost reduction. But the drama with using this ability is it doesn't give you immunity to snares. So yes, it will remove the snares, but you don't get immunity. So if you have someone spamming jabs, which we all know about this patch, and that ain't stopping next patch, jabs or any other type of range snares or gap closers, okay, this will not give you immunity. So you will just constantly be stuck in the mud, constantly snared. Okay, this is why I prefer the Sigic Order ability, because it's going to give us that immunity and that speed and allow us to get that distance to reset as buffs and restart and get back into the fight. So again, personal preference. You don't have to use Race Against Time. You can use the other ability. It's entirely up to you. Poison Ejection is going to be as dot over time. And Temporal Guard, okay? This is here, well slotted, you gain minor protection, reducing your damage taken by 8%. Okay, so while we're on his back bar, we have 18% damage and mitigation because we're getting 10% from the Wraith, and we're also getting 8% from just having this ultimate on the back bar. Okay, that's why we're quite tanky on the back bar for a medium arm. Right, moving on to the front bar then. We're using Blast Bones. This is going to be our burst damage. Okay, use it as such, like if you're a Mag Sork, it's sort of like our Crystal Frag. If you're a Warden, it's like the Subterranean. Okay, it runs at the enemy and blows up and causes some real good damage, and also gives them Major Defile for 4 seconds. So it's a must-have. The drama with this ability is, and a lot of people on stream noticed, that 50% of the time it wasn't hitting its target. Okay, it would either run up to the target and fall down or whatever. There is a few bugs with this ability, but I feel like if it gets addressed and gets ironed out, this will be very, very strong. And yeah, you sort of got to use it even if it misses 50% of the time anyway, because it's just really, really strong. And when it works, it works. Executioner. Okay, I think I've said the reason why I'm using Executioner on multiple build videos now. It's just doing a hell of a lot more damage than Reverse Slice, and for me, it's doing a lot more for me within the old single target burst. Now, Reverse Slice, I just get a lot of people low but don't manage to finish them, where with the Executioner, I manage to finish them because it's just doing that extra bit of damage. Rally, this is going to be our burst heal, and it's going to be our major brutality, which is going to increase our weapon damage by 20%. Stampede, yes, we are using a gap closer. Now, you don't have to. This is just how I want to play, because I fancy the change in what I'm enjoying. Now, you can use Camo Hunter here to do more damage. If you don't have fighting skills, Siphon ability, which, while slotted, you gain an extra 3% damage done. Okay, you don't even have to use the ability, you just have it slotted. But for me, Camo Hunter, if you want to do max damage, Camo Hunter is going to be your best bet. But for me, I'm using Stampede as my gap closer because I'm really, really enjoying it. Also, this is going to help prop the dot we get from the Maelstrom weapon. Dizzy and Swing, yes, I am using Dizzy and Swing, and I will remain using Dizzy and Swing. Even if it does get nerfed, I just think it's, you know, just one of them abilities you can't really replace on a 2H and bow build. As for a CC, we'll work around that and we'll see what happens. Onslaught, okay. Now Onslaught is something I use if I'm solo, okay, so I can do my Dizzy, Onslaught, Blast Bones combination. So I find Onslaught a lot better for me to use solo. Now if we're in group, small group, 2vx or anything like that, the Colossus is going to do a lot more damage and be a lot more useful within group. This thing hits like a truck. It hits like an actual truck. It's horrendous. I was playing Necro with my friend yesterday. We dropped two of these on a group of like 7 or 8 people, and they all insta-died because they just couldn't take the damage. It comes up so fast and just absolutely destroys anyone that's in the vicinity of it. But if you're running solo, I need to do my burst more often. Where with this ability, if I'm solo, it takes me a lot because it's 225 ultimate. But not only that, if I bump into someone in, say, like a tower as such or whatever, they can evade this ability really, really easy. They just dodge roll out of it. They see the AoE on the floor, and then I've just wasted 225 ultimate and done no damage. Okay, so for me, Onslaught while I'm solo just does a lot more for me. Okay, going into the champion points. Again, champion points is personal preference. This is just what works for me. Okay, you don't have to run my CP. Just use this as a guide if you have no idea where to start. But champion points should always be personal preference on your playstyle. Okay, so that's it. Let's go through the consumables. We are using Duberous Cameron Throne, which is going to give us max stamina and stamina recovery. We have to use this to proc our Bone Pirate 5-piece set. Now you can use Hulking and then use the Gold Food, but I just find that Bloodspawn just works a little bit better on this build because it helps with the regen. As for pots, we are using tripods because we are using the Magicka snare removal. But if you aren't using the Magicka snare removal, or even if you 1v1 and you're finding you're not having to use the Magicka snare that much, and you're finding your magic sustain is fine, which is going to give you major savagery, health and stamina. The major savagery is going to help contribute to your damage, and it's going to help contribute to your heals. Now, if you're needing speed, and if you're using, the cleanse version of this build, then you can use Essence of Speed pots, which is going to give you the movement speed, and it's going to give you the lingering health effect. Again, these are all situational, and whatever skill you whatever snare removal you decide to use the appropriate pot. So that is the gear. Let's go through. I am an orc, and I am using the Warrior Mundus stone. This is going to pump up our weapon damage even more. And like I said, I am an orc. Now, you can go Nord if you want to be tankier. I'm tanky enough. I really don't want to be any more tankier. I feel like orc, between my tankiness and my damage, I feel like works really, really well. And yet I've got a bounty of 138 because I summoned my Wraith. Everyone who's a Necromancer will understand that pain right there. Okay, so that is it. Let's have a look at the buff stats. Okay, so this is the stats as flat. So we have 39k max stam, 2.3 recovery, we have 4k weapon damage. Our crit is a little bit low, hence why you can use weapon crit pots if you want to use more damage. So that's the front bar stats. Back at 21k resistances with 2.8 crit resist. Again, we're looking at 39k max stam with 2.2 recovery. And as you can see there, we just got really nice, well-rounded stats. Good recovery, good sustain, and we've got good damage. Now, let's proc our weapon damage enchantment. Okay, we're looking at 4.5 weapon damage, and then we have the bow, which is an extra 300. So we're looking at about 4.8 with a continuous. You're looking at 5k weapon damage fully buffed, which is really nice because when you got a continuous, you have 2.4 regen with 5k weapon damage, and you just honestly get some real nice performance out of the build. Now, next patch you will be hitting 40k max stam when it's buffed, and also you'll be getting a smidgy's bit more weapon damage, which is really nice. So them stats will look even better next patch. Now, I just want to demonstrate how I use this build because some people will wonder why I'm using the gap closer. Now, this is how I'm liking playing at the moment, and it's catching a lot of people off guard. So I'm fully buffed up. Okay, I'm always making sure I'm buffed. I'm doing a light attack poison eject to fully buff myself. I'm doing a blast bones. I'm doing a gap close. I do a light attack. Dizzy. As the dizzy hits them and CCs them, the blast bone hits them while they're on the back, and you do an onslaught into an execute. It just works really, really well. Let's do it again. So we're going light attack poison ejection to buff up. We're doing a blast bones, an execute, and we have target neutralized. Now, I'm not going to kill the target every time, okay? It depends whether they block, get up, CC. But this, I've been nuking people with this combination, and it's been really, really fun and rewarding. Again, let's go into it. We go light attack poison ejection. We go into the blast bones, light attack dizzy and swing, into the light attack onslaught, light attack executes, and bam, we're doing nice bit of damage there. Okay, so yeah, it's just a little bit of fun, to be honest. This build is really, really fun, really, really strong. Stamina Necromancer is just really, really fun to use, and I am proper enjoying it. Now, for those that haven't found a successful build, use this build and you will enjoy this class. It is really, really, really good. Okay, so that is for the build. I think I've covered everything. I always forget something. Okay, if you want to know something below, please comment below. Leave me some feedback, whether it's negative or positive, okay? I might be doing something wrong or I might miss something. I aren't an expert at Stamina Necro, so I could have missed something. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.